Hey guys, you're watching because you want an alley. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode and the last episode of Let's Build a Theme Park before Halloween. Whew, did I scare you then? No, it's not quite the end yet, but it's going to be the last episode before Halloween, and then we're going to do a Halloween special for on here. That's if everything goes to plan anyway. So, I've done a little bit of work off camera. I've now filled in the island shape all with grass. We've got a sod piece of land, and I've put the ceiling on the roof on it with just with the slabs. I think it was the best block for it. It's a nice dull, bland grey. Again, we don't want bright colours on a prison. It's not going to make any sense. But then I went mad and put all the windows in as well. Okay, just some windows in some spots. Nothing too fancy, which is why I left it out. But what do I always say, especially on the Simpsons series, the Springfield Let's Build? What do I always say about flat roofs? I always say, make sure you put something on the top of a flat roof. Otherwise, it looks incredibly boring. So I'm going to take my own advice, and we're going to put down some like aircon units. So we're going to do some a large one here. Oops. Large one like this. Now, they really don't have to be fancy or do anything. And they don't even have to look good. They just have to be strange little sections on the top of the roof that just add a little bit to it. Now, seeing as though this is a prison, I'm actually going to try and do the pipes joining up to each other as if, you know, prisoners could walk through them or crawl through them in order to get out. I just think it's quite funny. You know, every prison seems to have aircon ducts that prisoners can climb through. At least every single prison in the movies. I don't know if it's like that in real life. I've never been to prison. I've never been a pirate, and I've never been to prison. So I don't really know too much about them. But they always seem to find a way out, don't they? So let's do a little section here. And there. Put those on top. And then just a little one that comes out here as well. Okay, wonderful. That'll make the roof of this prison look a little bit more interesting to look at. Now, this is episode 3 of building this this roller coaster. But it's not going to be finished this episode. There's still quite a fair bit to do. I did say when we first started it that this is going to be a little bit of a project. So we've done 3 episodes in a row. After this episode, we've also got the Halloween special. And then after that, we'll probably go away and we'll do something else. And we'll come back here maybe every 2 or 3 episodes until it's completed. But that's looking pretty cool. Now, the next part is making this into an island. At the moment, it's just a floating piece of land. Whoops, a floating piece of land. Oh, yeah. Someone said, AJ, can you please get rid of your inventory? It was driving them crazy. It drives me crazy too. So we'll get rid of all of this stuff. And then we've got a nice clean inventory. Are you all happy now? I hope so. I'm a lot happier myself. I don't like having an inventory full of eggs and doors and stuff. So, I think originally I did mention that I wanted it sort of rocky, like how Alcatraz is. But because our prison is made out of rocky colours, I think if we made the island rocky, it would blend in too much. So I think I'm going to keep it grass. But it's going to be very easy to do to make this into an island. Because all I'm going to do is go around the edge here. Now, for the moment, as you can see, I've sort of kept this platform exactly 1 block wider than the level above. If you do that, it'll look like an island, but it'll look too neat. So what you want to do is you want to do some sections that are wider, some sections that are thinner, some sections that are a lot wider, and even some sections that don't come out at all, you know, like that. You just leave them like that. And if you do that, you'll end up with a really cool looking island. The way that I always do it first, though, is I go round the island for the first layer. And then the second time that I go around, the second loop that I do around the island, I then sort of expand this out and put like other layers on in sections. Now, we've only got to do this a total of 3 times. Obviously, the first one is the layer that we're doing now. The second one is the one below it that's going to touch the water. And the third one is the layer that then goes into the water. So it doesn't take too long at all. But it's really going to help improve the look of our entire island. Then the rest of the episode, we're going to hopefully start to lay out the inside of the prison. Now, I've been playing a game quite a lot, actually, recently. It's just a little indie game more than anything. It's not really... I think it's becoming a full release at some point, but it's not at the moment. It's very, very old. I used to play it back in 2013. Was that 2 years ago? I never played it on the channel. It might have even been late 2012. I don't know. It might 2012/2013. A game called Prison Architect, and it's an okay game. You're building a prison. There's only so much entertainment that it can really do. But I really, really enjoy those kind of games because I am a big, big planner. I love planning out buildings and sections and wings to the prisons and stuff like that. For video, I don't think it would really be that great because you're always planning. As soon as you build something, you're planning ready for the next bit, and as soon as you've done planning that, you're ready planning the next section. And most YouTube videos in general last between 20 and 30 minutes. Well, 20 or 30 minutes on Prison Architect isn't gonna get much done at all. It's one of those games that you need at least an hour to do the smallest of things. So for YouTube video wise, it's really not the best thing. For this little mini game though, or this little roller coaster, it's actually going to be quite handy because I'm going to be able to know exactly what a prison needs. Obviously I've been playing it quite a bit. I know that prison needs guard rooms and cells and canteens and kitchens, and if they've got guard dogs, you can unlock guard dogs on there. You'll need little dog kennel, solitary confinement, which is where people go if they've been bad in prison. They then get put into a room that doesn't really have anything. Like you're not by anybody, you can't talk to anybody, you don't get any breaks, you don't get any free time. There's no TV or anything to watch. You're just stuck in the smallest room possible on your own, usually in the dark. So yeah, we're going to need some solitary confinement. We're going to need a medical ward. I don't think we're going to bother with a morgue where they die. If prisoners die, they go to a morgue inside the prison. Some prisons do. I don't know if all prisons have morgues. I don't think we're going to bother with that because, to be honest, you're going to be going through the rooms so quickly. It's a roller coaster. We'll try and slow ourselves down as much as possible, but we do need to remember that this is a roller coaster and not a Let's Build style prison. So there's not much point going into too crazy detail in the rooms. We'll try and make things like in the medical ward, we'll try and put some medical beds down and make it so it looks like a medical ward even if you're going through at 100 miles an hour. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to give it a good shot. But anyway, I'm not going to waste any more time doing this on camera. You sort of gather what I'm doing. I've spoken about Prison Architect, and I should be back once we've got the island solid and ready to go. Okay, so for the bottom level, I actually decided to do exactly the same as the top level, so it's just mirrored. We'll take that out, and then it's perfect. Yeah, so now we've got a nice floating island with a decent amount of water between it. I know it gets a little bit thin in a couple of spots, but if we wanted to, we could make it a little bit wider. Not too much. I'm not going to really worry about it that much. But that looks really, really cool now, sitting on an island. It looks pretty natural as well. But let's think about planning inside now. So, we'll grab the cobblestone. We've got the cobblestone already. Let's think about how we want this to go. Let's think about where we want certain things to be. I think that we want maybe a reception area on the side. Okay? We might not even enter this room, but nice reception area where prisoners can get booked in before they go into a cell, and where visitors can come at first to say that they're there to visit whoever. So then I think close by, because you don't really want to take visitors through the prison, we'll have a visiting room right here. That might be a little bit too big. Maybe more like that. Take a couple of squares off it. So a nice little visiting room there. Then we shall have a medical bay here, nice and close to the entrance. And then we want a canteen and kitchen. I think we're going to do the canteen and kitchen off here. Not that one, off this one, I think. So canteen and kitchen. These have to be quite big because they're going to hold a lot of prisoners. So we'll make it about that big. There's the canteen. And then I think we'll divide up to make a slight kitchen in there as well. Perfect. Then we want cells. Okay, so we've got a couple of little cells down here. We want, these cells are going to be, well, that's pretty big. That's a 4x4 cell. I don't know if we even necessarily need it that big. 4x4, that would take us to there. Mind you, it's not a bad set. When we're whizzing through here, like I said, at incredible speeds, we probably want the cells to be nice and big, maybe, to be able to see what they actually are meant to be. So it makes sense. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we'll do cells down here as well. We want to fit as many cells in as we possibly can. Nice hallway down the middle there. Going to this part, which is the yard, which is where the prisoners can get a little bit of exercise. And then somewhere we need a way up. How are we going to get a staircase up? A spiral staircase in the corner here, maybe? That sounds like a pretty good idea. Spiral staircase in the corner. And then this will come out. That's the floor level, right? Are we on the floor? Yeah, these are the floor level as well. Is it? No, it's not. This is the first wall level, isn't it? Yeah, that's the first wall level. So we probably... Oh, no, that is right then, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, I'm fine. I just needed to make sure I was doing it right. 4. That's not 4 blocks. 4, and 4. Okay, so we've got some cells down there. And we can mirror the cells above here as well. There, and there. Oop, like this. This little 1 block gap here is wasted, so we might as well fill it in. But that looks pretty good. We'll have solitary at the back here. Solitary confinement. So I'm going to remove these windows. They looked a little bit weird there anyway, in my opinion. Okay. And then this can come across here. Oops. Like that. We just need maybe a couple of solitary cells. In fact, we could probably... 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm going to do solitary like this. So let's do... Is there a middle point? And then for solitary, it's going to be thinner. So we're going to keep them 2 blocks wide instead of 4. So it's half the size. And I'm also going to do half the length. So it's a 2x2 area. Like that. 2x2 squares for solitary. All there is like not even a bed. Probably just a piece of concrete to sleep on. Very, very harsh solitary confinement. We could probably fit some cells in the middle. I also think that could look quite good as far as the roller coaster goes, like going between them. How many blocks hallway can we possibly have at the moment? We've got 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which would then give us 1 cell. Well, we could probably fit 1 cell down the middle here. If we done, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then that would work. And then we could have the back coming down this side. And maybe to there. And then let's mirror it up with that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that'll be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's pretty good. I think that's all we really need for a small prison. We've got space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 prisoners, with maybe 1 or 2 in solitary if need be, a canteen, a kitchen, visitors, and medical bay, a reception. Obviously, officers would be needed in a real prison for the warden and all the people to be able to say accountants and stuff like that, for them to work, if you like. But we can't fit it into this prison. And to be honest, if you're on a roller coaster and you're going past a load of officers, I mean, how boring is that? Yay, we're on a roller coaster and we get to go through a load of officers. Oh, it's fabulous. It's so fun. No, I don't think so. Okay, so for the paths, I'm going to use grey stained clay. Let's just sort of lay out a rough path. Obviously, they're not going to be straight paths. That would be boring. But just for the time being, I'm going to lay a path down that goes to the front door. Like that. And I also want a path that comes this way towards the watchtower. Obviously, the whole island, though, is going to be surrounded in a fence. Believe me, that's probably the next thing on the list, in fact, to make sure that we get that done. So let's have this coming down here, and then we'll curve it round. I really would like this path to go round the entire island, if it will fit in. If we can get the path, the path can go down to 2 blocks wide. I think that would be the thinnest I would want the path to go. Obviously, I think one block wide is a little bit too thin. So yeah, if we keep the path around this side 2 blocks wide, I think it'd look the best. And this is where guards can patrol, or where the dogs can walk. You know, the guard dogs to be able to spot or smell even if prisoners come out, and if they do, they can chase after them. Just around here. This will give us a good idea of what the island will look like as well when we back off and zoom out. Whoops, whoops. How high do we want the fence? I think 3 blocks high is the minimum. 4 or 5 blocks high is the maximum. If you go too high with the fences, it's going to overshadow the building itself, which isn't going to look good. But that looks pretty good, I think, around the side of the island here. And then probably a little path just leading to the utilities. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. We can sort of see how that's going to go now. And then if I grab... Not silverfish. Not silverfish, thank you very much. If we grab this, we can now lay out where the fence is going to go. We'll lay it out together, and then I shall just cut away at the end to put the fence up. And then we shall call it an episode. So, I don't want this fence to be square. I want it to be more fluid, if you like, and sort of get wider and thinner as it pleases. But we do need to remember to make sure that we can put yeah, like that. We need to make sure that we can put a fence on top of it. So don't do it like this, I mean. If you do it like this, when you put the fences on top, you're going to get a gap in the corners, aren't you? So you need to make sure that you have like a block at the corners in order for it to go round. So have something like this, in and out. Make sure the fence goes in and out. It's going to look much more natural, much more interesting. And I'm going to join it up to each tower, I think, as well. Like that. Bring it out around this path. Make sure we don't go too close to the path if we possibly can help it. And make sure we don't go too close to the edge of the island either. Down there. Ooh, it's getting a little bit thin here. Okay, we can move the path in. That's no problem. Along there. Down here. And I think that's it then, isn't it? Up to there. Yeah, and then it's joined up. I'm actually going to move this back to there so it's not joined to the edge. Okay, let me just run round a 3-high fence around the whole area, and then I'll be back. Alright, I'm on the home stretch here. This takes forever because I can never place iron bars correctly. Along here, and then they've got one more layer to do, and the last layer we're going to use cobwebs to look like barbed wire. I absolutely love that when people use that on building their own prisons. I think it looks really, really cool. So we're going to do that ourselves. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes they want to be placed, sometimes they just don't. That one. Last one. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I've got a too high fence. That's now looking like a prison. That's now looking like a prison, but with a cobweb around the top of this fence on this outside layer. It's going to look amazing. Why did that take so long to splash me? Was it auto-saving? I might not have seen the auto-save logo. But look at this. Already, even from this angle, it looks so good. It looks so much like barbed wire. I might as well run it across the top of the door as well. Along here. And along this one. Oh, this looks fabulous. Like that. Imagine with the path going around it. Few little bushes maybe, you know, stuff like that. I think it's going to really, really stand out. The inside's going to be fun to do as well. It's going to be nice and simple because it's a prison, but I think we can give a really good effect. And then finally, it'll be building the roller coaster part of the roller coaster. The most important part of the ride. The part that you actually go on. Along here, but this is going to be such cool visuals as you're racing around. There's going to be so much. It's going to be one of those things, you know, when you watch a film and the first time you watch the film you like it, but then the second time you watch the film you see things that you didn't see the first time. Happens to me all the time. It's going to be like that with this ride. So the first time that you ride on it, you're going to enjoy it, but then the second and third time you're going to see little details that you might have missed the first time. How cool does that look? That looks so much like barbed wire. Oh man. We've got a prison going here, guys. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye!